Hi guys, a very good evening. Masquera say. So let us talk about this issue. Was Chamisa rigged or not? It's very important for us to explore such questions so that we get real answers and we find real solutions. So the problem we have is so big in Zimbabwe. It's no longer our own problem. It's now a regional problem. It's now an international problem. So we need to extensively deal with this problem and find solutions to it. So first and foremost, I will go back to 2018. After 2018, what happened to Nelson Chamisa? His party was taken away from him. Funds were taken away from him. Everything, the offices, the buildings, everything from the MDC were grabbed and were taken away from Nelson Chamisa. That was the first point of rigging Nelson Chamisa. That is the first tactic they deployed to make sure that they stop Nelson Chamisa in 2023. Having done that, the MPs he had were taken to suppress the voice of the opposition in parliament, and he was left with nothing up until 2022. Fast forward to 2023, we have seen FAS emerging, FAS running key electoral issues in the nation of Zimbabwe, running the ZANU-PF primary elections, running everything which has to do with elections. We have seen FAS taking precedence in terms of running everything. That alone is a clear indication of rigging. So, if you take a look on the modus operandi FAS was using, they were identifying key Triple C members. Then they approach that person, they attack that person, they tell that person to stop participating in opposition politics, or else, number one, you'll be chased away from the village. Number two, anotonyangarika, or you never be recovered. Those are the issues they were dealing with. Thirdly, they identified everybody who was communicating with you. For an example, I was a candidate. I was campaigning for Triple C. They identified everybody who was getting to my home. Everybody who came to my house was identified. And after identifying those people, they were called one by one with this person, or else you risk losing your lives, or you will see it pariran. That alone is rigging. Why? Is because even if you joined to the political side, so going fast forward, I can't to go and say fraudulent because you have suppressed voters. So I have heard people talking about the 2008 plebiscite, what happened in 2008. I have seen a lot of people talking about those 2008. And we have seen some people from ZANU-PF gladly telling them, villagers, kuti 2008 will come back. Vanhu vakarasikirwa nama, vanhu vakarasikirwa nemitezo yavo yemiri, and you are told kuti 2008 is coming back. That is a clear indication of vote rigging, because the person is going into the ballot to express your wish, not his own wish. That is rigging, right? Then you go to the polling station and you find the same FAS person who told you kuti uchanyangarika, who told you kuti ucharohwa, who told you kuti we will deal with you. You find that same person manning the polling station and a desk rake as an agent of ZANU-PF. What does that mean? What kind of message does that send? It sends one clear message that I'm here for you. It sends a clear message that I'm ready for you. That is rigging. That removes the freeness of the elections, the fairness of the elections, the uh, um, credibility of the election is then removed. And it gives us one single answer that this election was rigged, this election was manipulated, this election does not reflect the will of the people. Right. Let us go to the merits of this election. Nelson Chamisa in 2018 had around 48%. So with 48%, Nelson Chamisa's popularity grew, whilst Mnangagwa's popularity um, went dim and was no longer growing. How do I say so? Go to the civil servants. In 2018, when Emerson Mnangagwa was contesting, they were earning around 400 US plus. But during his tenure, his 5 years, they ended up earning less than 100 US. So by that alone, no sane person would say Emerson Mnangagwa was going to win this election. Against all odds, take a look on how the economic turn down happened. Everything went stand still. If you go to the bank, you can't access your money. Money changers everywhere. People losing value of their monies. All those things. Somebody could actually agree that all those things made Emerson Mnangagwa unelectable. Fast forward to 2023, Nelson Chamisa was giving clear policies about the direction the nation should take, was giving clear picture of how the nation should operate and how it should work. So that gave Nelson Chamisa an advantage over Emerson Mnangagwa. So there is no way Mnangagwa will get 52% and Chamisa will get lesser. There is no way that will happen. So the only thing which can happen was to have a no winner. Ndo mabirirwo angadai angoitwa nemukuru. He would have said hakuna winner and ekurerun. But because he knew that the rerun was not going to give him much needed votes, because vanhu vangwara, vanhu vadzidza, they have learned a lot from this election, which means a rerun would be a disaster to Emerson Mnangagwa, because even the people who voted for him, who were coerced to vote for him in the rural areas, vanogona kuchinja their determination and vanogona kuchinja mafungiro avo, because the 27 June mandra inogona kutadza kushanda. So what it means is they thought to say, let us use this mechanism and suppress Nelson Chamisa's vote. In my view, Emerson Mnangagwa got 53%, 33%, and Nelson Chamisa got 54%. That is, in my view, that is what I believe in. Nelson Chamisa got 54% net, and Emerson Mnangagwa 33%. And that is the credible election result, the only election result at this juncture we would have accepted. But without the commandeering and everything else, we would have seen Nelson Chamisa garnering up to 68%. But it happened or started way after 2018 election up to today. And there is no sane person who accepted this result, because Sadiq itself said this election was not free, this election was not fair, and this election failed to pass the credibility test of an election. So Team Zimbabwe, I think looking at these few issues, one would agree that this election was rigged. But despite all that, if you take a look on the V11s, if you take a look on how the people performed during this election, Emerson Mnangagwa was winning in the rural areas, in the strongholds, through vote commandeering, the same way he won in 2018. He didn't surpass the 2018 trend. Actually, he went down the 2018 trend. What does that mean? What it means is the way these people rigged elections is so shameful, because you see that instead of giving the credible vote, they actually robbed the actual vote by bringing in my presiding officers outering 23 forms to give their own answer. It is wrong, which does not emanate from the V11s. If you take a look on how polling officers were recalled, Zokai, 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 it was a way of trying to use a commandeering effort to try and alter the will of the people. But is that going to help? No. Why? There is no court in Zimbabwe which is going to say, Mnangagwa, you have won freely and fairly, and there's no court in Zimbabwe which is going to validate this election. Why? It's because in 2000, he said, we need the V11 forms. And right now, the V11 forms are available, not the V23s. The V11s are available, which means there is no way Luke Malaba is going to say we no longer need V11s. He is going to have the V11s submitted before him to say these are the V11s. Let's count together, polling station by polling station. Then they create my V23s. They go on to constituency by constituency. Then you go back to the National Command Center and say, these are the finals. So you will see that there is no way Emerson Mnangagwa is going to seal victory and say, I have secured victory forever. There is nothing like that. So, Team Zimbabwe, what is the way forward? President Nelson Chamisa announced today that he is working on a number of measures to make sure that he stops this rot, he stops this mess. And I believe in him. I agree with him that a solution must be found, and we are waiting to see what is next for the Triple C party. And Panapa, I'm not giving up. God is still on the throne. Yes, I agree. Thank you very much, Michelle. Yes, Chamisa was rigged, and we need to give support to Chamisa so that we get our votes back. I agree with you. It's really fun that Chamisa got the same percentage he got in 2018, yet his support has increased in 2023, and Mnangagwa lost support during that 5 years in power. Yes, I agree. That is very true. God, we are your children. Have mercy on us. Takata, this case of Zimbabweans failing to enjoy in their country. Enough is enough. So, Team Zimbabwe, a lot happened, and let's remain vigilant. Let's remain focused, Zimbabwe, for change. And I believe we are going to win this challenge. So, Team Zimbabwe, ngatirambe takadzvanya, ngatisarambei tichidzvanyirirwa. Hanzi Chamisa must promise Malaba more money to ensure a successful court challenge. I don't think there is need to do that. Evidence is very much important, because hapasina kwekutizira endorse and say Mnangagwa has won this election. Okay. Thank you very much for coming, everybody. Anzina never quit. And sorry, this is Ali Mamutse. Thanks, Ronnie, for such clarification. We are not losing hope. Yes. So, Team Zimbabwe, let us not lose hope. Let us continue to hold on, because I believe change will definitely come. Hapana pekuti madharaya aingoenda without a try. They have tried everything possible. Ukatarisa kumashure uko, they were announcing mbijana because they knew kuti vanga vakatamba metsi dzavo kudhara, but this time around metsi dzadzisiri kutambika, dzakatambwa namadofo and hapana chiri kuzobuda. So ivhu harife rakabika sadza, kungobika mbodza, chero rikakwata sei ivhu haribike sadza. Saka tiri kuti ngatirambe takabatana neZimbabwe. Do your part as everybody does his own part. Makamirira signal from the leadership, and I believe change will definitely come.